What, in general, what is considered cooler? The Napa's?
Oh yeah, we're very cool. We're very cool. Here, wait a minute, let me. Yeah,
How cool
we're
are
very
you?
much cooler than the Sonoma side. Oh, you mean not like that? We're fairly cool. I mean, if you wanted to have fun while you're here, right?
I am having fun.
Okay.
It's considered
I mean,
fun.
you know, you wouldn't get this on the Mondavi tour, I can tell you. You come in, you kiss Bob's ring, you know, and you bend over and you go through things. But we want you to have a good time and come back. So, cooler. What do you think, Mike?
Same.
About the same.
Close.
Okay.
The fog lays in here and it burns off from north to south.
You can tell by the way the wind.
If you were, I worked at Carbonet.
He founded Acacia, and then they exiled him to Carbonet because they needed help fixing that.
When I was at Carbonet, we'd get up on those hills. It was up like 1,200 feet above, and look down on the Carneras. And on a bright day, it was still hazy down here, so that means that there was actually still less sunlight striking this area than would be up in the hills. So a combination of reduced sunlight and the wind that comes up every day about 3 o'clock. And when the wind comes up, the plant kind of shuts down to protect itself, and it's kind of like the sun going behind the clouds. So that extends the growing season. Slows things down, just like a cooler area does. And it's not cold down here, and there are cooler areas where Pinot Noir grows, successfully. It makes a different kind of wine, but it grows.
You mean like down in Santa Barbara, maybe?
Up in Oregon, and even down in Santa Barbara, or not Santa Barbara, but Edna Valley and some of those coastal areas, where the 50-degree water washes up against them. It's pretty chilly. But we're still maybe always 10 to 20 degrees cooler than St. Helena, as far as this part of the area is concerned. So where Pinot Noir is not very successful when you grow it up in Cabernet country, it's very successful down here. But it is riper, and we get riper flavors from Carneras and from Russian River and Santa Lucia and all those than you do in Oregon, where you've got different day length, and it's different, and the soil warms up at a different rate up there, which is the main thing, because that moves their whole harvest a month later than us. Even though it's kind of interesting, during the summer the days are longer in Oregon than they are in California.
Yeah, because they're further north.
Because they're further north. But on either end of that, it's pretty steep. The length of days start to really fall off. So by the end of September, the main difference is that the soils warm up here, and so we get an early start, and then it lasts. It takes 100 days, a minimum of 100 days, to effectively mature Pinot Noir. So about 110 is considered 105 to 110 days from bloom, from fruit set, is considered cool enough to grow good Pinot. You grow up valley, you may only be looking at 85 days to ripen Pinot Noir.
So it's not enough time.
So it doesn't develop
the temperatures.
Doesn't develop the flavors. It can develop the power. It might develop the color, but there's a good chance it won't. But it doesn't have the complexity of the flavors.
Would you say, just from tasting, from bottles, Carneras Pinot Noir is closest to Oregon versus Monterey or Russian River? No? Okay.
I couldn't say. It's maybe closer to some areas of Oregon, but Oregon really has pretty distinctive wines, and they tend to be more tannin, more structure driven, and they're very different than California wines because of the way the sun and the temperature works up there.
They're on their own rootstock, and people don't really know. Mike founded the Acacia Winery in 1979, and he and his buddy Stephen Carey founded what's called
Stephen Carey. We met him up in Oregon. Willamette, Lamb Hill.
Yeah.
We spent the whole day. We dragged the high poppy and tall poppy.
He's my buddy.
Oh, I got to tell him that. We spent we were there till like 10 o'clock at night tasting Pinots. We got just went to the tasting. We found out it was in the business, started tasting, talking about wine. All of a sudden, it's like 10 o'clock. Everybody's gone.
Let's see what these guys did.
Oh, really?
Her name's not Stephen, but her name's Carrie.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Carrie.
Okay.
So what they did was, in the early 80s, you couldn't find good Pinot in America. So they decided to get together and discuss it. And so every year since when?
26 years now.
26 years, 81?
1981.
1981. They get together, they invite winemakers from all over the globe to get together and discuss Pinot Noir and how it's developing. And if it wasn't for these guys doing that, there wouldn't be an Oregon program, there wouldn't be, Carneros would be developing. Guys from Russian River and Santa Lucia, they've all benefited from the mistakes and the trials that guys like Mike have really done with American Pinot Noir, you know, and he's too darn shy to bring it up. But
well, they'd have certainly got a later start on it, because we were all investigating Pinot Noir at the same time in the early 80s.
So,
what was the original Pinot, the Pinot Festival, wasn't there the Pinot,
IPNC didn't start, the International Pinot Noir celebration didn't start until 87.
But you were
But
doing
we've
it
been going
here.
for 7 years before that, and what's become known as the Steamboat Conference, where it's an ad hoc gathering of winemakers, and we bring a wine, current wine, out of barrel that's either a beauty or a
beast.
and everybody tastes it and critiques it. And
oh, it's pretty tough.
Must be interesting.
It is a
One of my
very tough
accounts went
conference.
to it last year.
Steamboat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
went to the conference. Bobby Marino, Mid-Valley.
He probably went to the IPNC, International Pinot Noir Celebration,
Which is the
Oh,
week
okay.
after.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah.
which he could go to. This one is
Strictly one.
Just the
pretty much,
winemakers, I
You get to
think.
be
pretty much
invited
winemakers and their family.
So it's pretty
a barrel.
interesting.
Put everything you're saying too.
Absolutely.
It's an international thing, because there were French people there.
Israeli, there were some from the Orient,
South
Australia.
Africa,
Wow.
Tasmania,
It's pretty
New
cool.
Zealand,
It's a great time.
Australia, Italy,
I'd like to be going
Germany,
again, but
Pinot Noir makers
next
from
year.
all over the world.